Well, let's see indeed. I'm a little bit concerned right now as 100 Thieves has not been able to pick up either of the first two maps, and while they started to wake up on Split, now they move to Ascent. Now I will say this has not always been a great map for the likes of Envy. While they've had some big wins, they've also had losses, losing more recently to Renegades, and that surprising first map in their best of 3 yesterday.
True.
And I think there's possibility here for 100 Thieves to find a big win. We'll see if that's in fact going to be the case as we get ready to kick things off in the pistol. Reminder, 100 Thieves beat TSM on this very map. So that was a huge win for them. And they might have kind of set the precedent that this is not going to be a map where you can just brush them aside. Looking at the composition, we've got Omen, Sova, and then we've also got the Reyna, the Phoenix, and of course the Cypher for Envy on the other side. Jett, Reyna, Sova, Killjoy, and Omen. No surprise there. Asuna swapping away from Raze to play the Reyna. Always love to see it. Regardless of what agent he plays, I feel like he always delivers.
Yeah, right now definitely using duelists for individual plays, selfish plays as Reyna instead of Raze seems to be the case for both of these teams. And it starts off with a great pistol, a trade-off of 4 versus 4. Cyber cages to come up and her turtle sight in the back of the site. But mummAy at the staircase, another frenzy, 2 kills going on in his favor. But then crashies is just going to end it, unfortunately. Hiko, the last one to come into the site, quite normal because he is the one that's trying to find the information for the team. Cannot come in for the clutch, and it's going to be Envy, decisive pistol round.
Envy picking up where they left off in the last 2 maps as they stomp out the push from 100 Thieves. The response from 100 Thieves, sheriffs and armor across the board. Another force buy coming in. We've seen that already from them on their attacking halves. They don't really seem to slow down. They almost always go into that second round with a little bit of extra oomph. Can you blame them with the firepower that they bring to the table? The recon dart comes in, as do the shock darts. That one does land in Steel's lap, does a little bit of damage. Tips away 5 HP, but some armor as well. There's the wide swing as well, the paranoia coming out. But the team is actually grouping up more towards mid, and they just lost the spike. That's a huge kill. The spike is dropped actually in no man's land. Luckily for them, their Jett is actually able to go and pick it up. Asuna taking significant damage from mummAy over on short. Dicey with a nice shot from distance delivered by the Sheriff. Puts crashies in an uncomfortable position. Holding down short alone. Ding shot coming through, but it's not really going to make a difference. crashies getting those last 2 kills. 2 on the board early for Envy, and a high survival rate as well means money's going to start stacking up a bit better than it did in the last map.
And especially when you're trying to peek 1 by 1 like that, instead of going for that double swing to make it a little bit easier and maybe possible for you to overtake the trade on an eco for 100 Thieves. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case there, as you know, they were trying to get their money right, but also for Envy, you saw, and we talked about at the pregame, how aggressive they like to be towards the A main, and they did so before with the Reyna pushing forward, and this time they might do it again. You already see the smoke happening towards the top mid. They have a paranoia set up just in case there's any type of push or any type of footsteps being heard, but it's not needed. We're able to put one inside the corner of the wine area, and as the rest of 100 Thieves, they're trying to push forward with another mix buy, only having the Sheriffs into this round. But it's Food, aiming on the site, on the top of Switch, looks down towards Pizza, and Asuna falls.
Food going to use the hot hands to heal up and drop the door down as well. 100 Thieves do have bid control, at least for the time being. Tripwire gets taken out by Dicey, who again is on a Sheriff. The buy coming in from 100 Thieves, not fantastic due to the fact that they did force in the last round and weren't able to make much work for them. Steel pushing in closer. mummAy currently at the backside of A Heaven, does some damage but decides to back off. Good call. Give them control of mid for the time being. Steel is currently on 45 HP. It's the 3 remaining players for 100 Thieves trying to move up in mid. And while they've gotten up pretty far close to spawn, they haven't been able to do much with it, as they're not sure of a looming threat that could be waiting on both sides. On one side, you've got Omen. On the other side, you've got nothing. But 100 Thieves none the wiser to that, as mummAy again gets a backpedal off the early damage that comes his direction and continues to just get that information and buy time for his team to get into better positions. mummAy now right around the corner, still can't manage to make it work with the Sheriff, but just a few seconds left as they try to make their way onto the site. Somehow, they're going to get a spike plant out of this potentially. No, it's denied, and the round is as well. With just 2 seconds left, there's nothing that can be done for Dicey, who's executed in the end by FNS. Envy, only 2 players survive, but it's a round win nonetheless.
A very nice positioning by crashies in the end. Just holding it towards the hell. He knows that he has the time in his hands. He's okay to even let them plant if they wanted to, but he waited at the absolute last moment before he could actually swing out towards the generator. As because exactly there was only 10 seconds left for 100 Thieves to actually get into the site and to try to get a spike plant, they really didn't have any time to go for any type of trades, or should I say, to clear sites. They just tried to move forward and tried to protect the spike carrier instead of going out to clear out the area. And crashies just was able to come out from hell, surprise attack, 2 guys down, and Envy seals the deal. But still getting 2 kills, almost a spike plant. It's not that great of an ego, at least in my opinion, for 100 Thieves, but at least they have a rifle round coming in this time, where very important for them, as Envy has been controlling, once again, the beginning of the game. And they have to stop them in their tracks now on the attacker side. And it's Asuna trying to move forward. Op shot missed, that forces mummAy back. So Owl Drone, sorry, is going to spot one, and it's still going to be Food that gets the kill onto Asuna from the mid side. But they're coming in from all angles, actually, for 100 Thieves. They pushed out towards the A main. It's trading out. They got Catwalk. It's down to a 3 versus 3, but the spike is so far back. So they are going to waste some precious time for the 100 Thieves to come back and pick up spike, and at the same time lose map control. So they have to take that, then work back together towards the mid. Lots of precious time is wasted.
And crashies currently on Catwalk, has to be careful. You can see Hiko is currently ready to fire a dart into that position. It goes on the opposite corner, and crashies is able to dodge the damage. Has to be careful. There's one right around the corner. The op tries to peek up closer, and crashies capitalizes. It'll now fall onto Hiko. With 23 seconds left, he starts to move into position and gets spotted from spawn. Jump peeks coming out on short as well to make sure that he's not moving in too close. As he peeks up, Food is waiting for him with an op. Envy have not slowed down moving into map number 3. 4 straight rounds for them, as 100 Thieves have yet to get things going on the attacking side. And it'll be another pistol armor buy coming in for 100 Thieves as well.
I wouldn't be surprised now if we see the Blade Storm coming out too, and this could be something very aggressive for 100 Thieves too, as they're going to go behind Dicey if they could work with something like that. Because if they grab the orb, for example, through the rush, or if they get trade-offs for Nitro and Steel, that's a lockdown ability available to allow them to clear, which seems to be, at the beginning, a push towards this B side. But that camera that FNS loves to put is a great spot to put it, and it's going to be a leer that covers it up to start things off. And they pick up the orb, and there's the lockdown. How can they hold this now for Envy with his Crossfire? Oh, it's going to be an ult to stop it.
The Hunter's Fury sending pulses out. FNS is waiting right around the corner. There's players in B main, just has to be patient right now as the Lear comes through first and blinds him. Nice dash coming out from Dicey, but it's not enough to get past FNS, who manages to pick up one more. Yet again, it's Hiko all alone, and Envy just keep things going. The gas pedal is currently pressed to the floor for Envy, and they show no signs of picking up that lead foot.
5 unanswered rounds. I don't know what kind of answer you could actually bring back here for 100 Thieves. With the utilities that you have, I think you have Asuna that can maybe work towards this A main control, trying to leer towards the area and battle back, versus maybe sometimes we have that mummAy opping with the operator towards A main. This time it's going to be Food, though. This could be a good advantage. It's going to be a 3 versus 1 there, where the one that sets up the paranoia is not there. He's actually playing towards the B side, but that's because Food has to run it back. So that's information, at least, on the first one running through. A dart spots the second one, so they're going to spray through the default box, but Food still comes out on the white swing to save his teammate. Hunter's Fury to come out. Food is still looking to save his life in the front, but they line up, and he takes 2 with the Hunter's Fury. You also have control towards the back of the site, as it seems as though we do have the Omen already making his way with Nitro. Watching the rotation, but he loses the fight to Caboose up on Catwalk. A 3 versus 2, a spray through the smoke. Caboose is down to 81 HP, but they have wasted enough time here for Envy to eventually come in for a crunch time into the A site. Trade after trade, though. It's going to be Hiko looking to clutch this out. He's spotted. He's wide swinging on 2 players, but cannot get a single one, and Envy continues to take the lead. by 6 unanswered rounds.
Hiko gets a huge opener. 2 kills on the Hunter's Fury. And yet somehow 100 Thieves still falls short. We've seen that pole position for Envy change from player to player. This time around, it's crashies playing as Sova, no less. 10-2 on the defense for Envy. We've seen Caboose in that position. We've seen Food and mummAy all tournament long also in that top spot. Even FNS get close sometimes. It's just not working out well here for 100 Thieves. We'll see what they can do. And you can see some of that aggression already coming out. Look at this play. A little bit too ballsy for Caboose as he gets too aggressive. The pickoff shot from short doesn't work out for mummAy, so he'll have to back off. That's a weapon picked up for 100 Thieves off a bit of an aggressive play coming out from Envy that cost them a player advantage early on.
That's what we mentioned before, Buck, at the pregame of this map. Even though you have a lead, maintain your composure, and mummAy does so. A connection onto Asuna, crashes with the crossfire. He's able to get the kill, but that's 3, made that 4 simultaneous kills towards that mid side and A as they're trying to pinch from Envy on that mid side. And we didn't see those kills, but we definitely saw how immediate that was on the kill feed, where an Eco then comes in for 100 Thieves, a thrifty round to start things off and try to get things rolling on their attacker side.
Again, this is a map that Steel really performed on, really excelled on for 100 Thieves earlier in this tournament.
Especially on defense.
Yeah, but that's the thing. On defense, on attack, Killjoy, it's awkward. We've mentioned it already. Asuna, though, playing as Reyna, has yet to get a kill. Struggling currently as Envy has controlled the early game pace, much like they did on Bind. You've got mummAy in position with the op, and then the peek comes through from Caboose in Wine Cellar, and he'll get out of dodge pretty quickly. So an early pick that can't be traded. And 100 Thieves is at a disadvantage. Steel now trying to move past the dark cover, does have an operator, wants to move in close, but mummAy is waiting on the other side with arms wide open. It's a nice big hug coming in from the op. The spam through the box, right on the money. 100 Thieves, yet again, reduced to just 2. As Envy looks so strong on the defense. 50 seconds left for Hiko and Nitro to try to make something happen.
At least they're grouped up. But a better positioning here from Caboose that can actually get the kill / dismiss if he gets it. But he opts to fall back instead. He does have support already on Catwalk. There you go. That's crashies coming out from the garden. And they don't even need to help each other out. When you're landing your shots like these guys are since the beginning of this series, it's definitely a hard battle to take versus for any team facing against Envy right now. And so far, unfortunately, the short end of the stick is definitely 100 Thieves into this matchup. And as you mentioned, Asuna, unfortunately, not being able to get any kills so far in this half, I think it's just well due to the fact that Envy are just controlling every single angle and controlling Asuna well, where they don't allow him to get those selfish plays to try to get entries for himself. Like, look at him. When he's working towards his orb, nobody's working back towards the area. Like, nobody's peeking on that time. So when they're trying to go for these guess plays and where the positioning from the defenders will be at the beginning, they're on the opposite of the map. They're turtled back. They're forcing now 100 Thieves to get into versus a stack, and it just doesn't work out.
That timing as well was perfect over in A main. mummAy with a nice paranoia, but it wasn't even necessary as Asuna got towards the switch before being taken down. The spike is dropped back pretty far towards spawn, and it's going to be another 2 on many. This time, though, it's Jett, Dicey, and Hiko trying to make things happen. You've still got Reyna on site. Omen is there as well towards Cat. Dark cover coming out to make things a little bit more difficult for them, putting a little bit more in the way. Now, Dicey does have the ult. The knives can come out. Bladestorm is available, but look at the other side. 4 ults total, all waiting to be utilized for Envy, and they honestly don't even need to. Dicey, the initial peek, it seems like it. I mean, that spike is so far away, and it looks like Dicey wants to just try to get across and get back. Yeah, it's exactly what ends up happening. So they're sitting back with a spike right now on Cat. They realize the value in hand is worth more than the round possibility. So it will be 8 rounds for Envy as 100 Thieves, they found 1, but then stall out shortly after.
10 seconds left.
Good thing that they're still walking here because FNS is pushing forward. They're going to hear FNS coming forward towards the back of the mid, and it's going to be Hiko that's going to have to watch Dicey's back. And Hiko at least wins that 1-versus-1. So they're being chased towards the back, the dash towards the back as well. Will they be able to save it? They will. So I like to say there on that 4-versus-2 that they had for the 100 Thieves, they tried whatever they could, right? It really counted on the positioning of where Envy was on the A side. That off the recon dart that went off the wall, if they could ping somebody out, maybe Dicey could dash in or get the better angle as they're trying to break the dart or trying to get out of position so they can move inside the site. But as they stayed very calm, cool, and collected for Envy on that 4-versus-2, they're only guessing that they go for shock darts that he's maybe playing towards Hell, and they didn't really know that he was playing towards the back of the generator. So with that, you're playing the time into your hands, and finally, we do have Asuna on the board for the first kill versus Food. And as we mentioned it before, when you're trying to play aggressive on Envy with the confidence, it happened before 2 rounds ago when they won a thrifty round. This time it's going to be on a gun round that allows Asuna to get the second point onto the board, make that Dicey chiming in and steal as well. It's looking to be a flawless, but unfortunately gets stopped. But crashies still gets spotted towards the back of the site, back of the spawn, and he's getting wallbanged down to 15 HP. It's looking to win on a 4-versus-1, but at least it'll secure a spike plan towards that B side that allows 100 Thieves to breathe a bit into the round and also into the series as they're able to tally up with the second round into this half.
It's a game of inches right now for 100 Thieves. They need to close things out with just a few more rounds. An 8-4 half before they swap sides is certainly recoverable. But thus far, the way that Envy has played, they've made that almost impossible. Look at the fact that in every round that Envy has lost, there has not been one spike plant. Full elimination rounds as Envy has taken full control of the early round and made it almost impossible for 100 Thieves to do anything. Steal early on, goes to the peak, takes out the camera, the shot from the op is off the money. There's the ult coming out from Killjoy, so Lockdown will at least attempt to clear out the B site. But there's the pulses coming out, they're trying to take down the ult for the Killjoy and it works out. So they pop that ult and they manage to eliminate the threat. Steel still moving in. Spray coming down towards the stairs. Okay. Nice shooting by both him and Asuna to make it a favorable round. FNS and Caboose trying to do what they can, but it all falls onto Caboose, who pops Empress. Now in a 1v3, a target in spawn spotted them as they try to go around the corner. There's the Lear to lead them in, and yeah, not really much that Nitro can do about that one.
Oh, an off-shot miss as he dismisses. Oh my god, that was so good from Caboose. Now he gets inside the site, the Lear. That 2-versus-1, but a perfect recon dart spots him towards the cabin. The right click then comes in from Dicey, and they save that round for the 100 Thieves, and I loved it. When they actually put the Killjoy ult down towards that B-man, I was like, this is not going to work, because they have a Hunter's Fury still. And for the second time, the Hunter's Fury from crashies cancels it. But what we didn't see, what was happening towards that minimap, you have the Empress that was popped from Asuna, able to move in and get an entry kill towards the garden side. That forced maybe one player to rotate across towards that site, towards the A side, which slowly weakened down the defense on B. Still getting that wall bang was important, which allowed then 100 Thieves to move inside the B site, and even at the same time, keeping Caboose busy. Like I said, has been on fire throughout this whole series, and Asuna was able to contain him long enough for Envy to go for the pulse pass situation and position.
There's the ult being popped, and they're starting to run into position. 100 Thieves capitalizes on poor timing from Envy on the ult pop. Everything lands on crashies, who's currently in sight. The cross shot is right on the money. That buys time for crashies, who's currently on site. mummAy maybe just saving the day with that quick shot that comes out. Now, crashies may have seen the barrel around the corner. That's the spike going down. Hiko's trying to move into position. crashies now has to keep his head on a swivel. There's a player on both sides. Now, the Nano Swarm will land in sight just outside of Hell, but there's the quick shot coming in from crashies. He's now brought it down to a one-on-one. It's crashies versus the clutch god himself, Hiko, who's trying to spam those boxes in sight to spot out his final target. There's the shock dart coming in, looking to do additional damage. crashies with a huge play to cap off the first half. A big 3K to give MV round number 9.
We were definitely in medieval times there on that 1-versus-1 between crashies and Hiko, but yes, like you said, his head on a swivel and still clutches a 2-versus-1. But that wasn't possible thanks to this player that we just saw with this highlight reel of 2 kills at pistol. mummAy landing that shot allowed crashies to just focus towards the front of the site to capitalize on the first kill as they're pinching into the A main side and also from the sliding door to eventually clutch that 2 versus 1. So the communication continues to stay strong for Team Envy as they take the lead. But the thing is now, as we mentioned before, when Steel has played a good game, it was on the defender side. And the reason why I say that is because you had players like Steel, you also had the chance for Asuna inside that B side to dance around those boxes, dance around the boathouse to actually always win these fights versus aggressive pushes from their opponents. And we'll see if Envy, knowing that, will decide to work more towards the mid side or the A side, or are they still that confident throughout this whole series to just bring the fight towards 100 Thieves? And it seems as though for this round, they are just going to bring the fight towards them.
See what happens here as the drone goes in first and hiding inside the smoke. Multiple threats from that defense. Steel is on site, and oh boy, Steel's gonna need some help. The turret gets taken down. Paranoia pours into that position. Nice quick shot coming out from Steel, doing what he can. But the spike will be planted. Dicey's looking for that target that should have been short. Hiko is going to pick one off, and that's actually the spike planter going down as the shock dart lands right on the money. Now Dicey hits an initial dink shot, has to follow it up with a shot in the toe. But regardless, 100 Thieves have themselves in a great position. It's now 2-on-4. The frenzy in close position, not going to work out so well, and it's all up to mummAy. mummAy's picked off one, trying to make it work, but there's just too many targets, and they are far too close. 9-3 is the score currently. The spike will be defused, putting 100 Thieves on 4 rounds and giving them a chance to try and build a comeback.
The big test for 100 Thieves in this half right now is right here, in my opinion, where you actually do have the force buy for 100 Thieves. Well, not the force buy, the upgrade, of course, for 100 Thieves because they won pistol, but the force buy from Envy. They're going with the Stingers again. They're going with the Sheriffs again. And back to that storyline, they were successful on these force buys. crashies, kaboose, look out for these guys with the Sheriff. mummAy has one wielded as well. And they are working as a team so far. It seems as though they want to look for this mid control and have FNS work towards B main. And as he's being wall banged by the Ares, he's down to low HP. A great start, at least for Envy, to try to stay alive, win the round, and try to win the round with as many players as possible so the economy could still stay very healthy on their side so they could catch up in this game.
Hiko sitting back, about to send out a shock dart as one of his teammates falls by the wayside. Dicey will be sent to the afterlife for the remainder of the round. Envy moves fast, trying to take control of Catwalk and explode onto the A site where you've still got one waiting. Hiko sends some shots down range, but decides to back off. As the spike comes through, there's a shock dart out. crashies with great shooting on the Sheriff. Some bullets pouring through the floor, doing damage, but there will be no fatalities as of yet. 4-on-3 numbers advantage still in favor of Envy. But the equipment brought into the round favors 100 Thieves. As I say that, they lose another piece. There's significant damage dealt to 2, but it's looking harder and harder for the remaining 2 on 100 Thieves. Hiko coming through from heaven. He's got Nitro moving in from Cat. They start to work their way in. Paranoia goes out. That will be what leads them in, giving them protection from hell. It all falls to Hiko. Just like that, Envy finds round number 10. The pistols working out wonderfully for a team who already had a massive advantage in this third map.
What did I say, right? Look out for those Sheriffs, and they rang for the last 2 kills, but I think the biggest kill that they had was that Stinger. I'm pretty sure that was in the hands of Food. When they almost had a nice double flank on mid side for the 100 Thieves, he turned around. You didn't see it on camera, but I heard the shots. He definitely aimed on the site, went for 2 burst shots, and got the kill long range into one of the defenders rotating across, which allowed then for them to take the catwalk position, and even a Paranoia to be thrown towards back mid, forced the Reyna to fall back into the site, which was, or sorry, towards back of the attacker spawn, which was Asuna. But then he tried to do the heroic play by himself inside A, which he gets punished for, and Envy just took control of the round after that. So back on an eco is going to be the 100 Thieves. as they're going for a 3-man stack up on Catwalk. The participation medal so far was that they were able to put down Food to 5 HP before he has to heal back up, but then Dicey has different plans. He peeks out on the Catwalk, he takes 2, make that even a 3rd one, but it gets traded off finally by crashies. Killing spree has been stopped, but it's still a 2-man advantage in favor of the defenders.
One enemy remaining.
Well, so much for that strong push coming in from Envy here after picking up that nice round previously. Crashies all alone with a Bulldog. We'll see if that Bulldog is all bark, no bite. It seems to be the case. Asuna peeks out from Catwalk. 4 players survive as 100 Thieves fire right back. Not willing to surrender this 3rd and potentially final map in the series. Take a look at the scoreboard. Dicey 16 and 11 as Jett. On the flip side, crashies 19 and 8. Yeah. Absurd numbers coming in from the Sova Food, sitting at 13 and 8 as well. Solid numbers in general. But we'll see what happens here. The buy coming in from 100 Thieves, despite the round win, is still a little bit awkward. You've got Steel on a Sheriff, an SMG for Asuna. Full buy for Envy. So what does Steel decide to do? Wants to get aggressive, takes down the cam initially. The curveball comes around the corner. Steel has to back off. That does give them control of the ult orb, which means run it back is now a problem. As he peeks wide, he does drop the spike plant, but there's the push that comes through with that ult as well. They're going to move into position. The knives, not exactly where they need to be initially for Dicey, but eventually does take down the Phoenix. The ult will send him reeling back into B main. Caboose picking off Nitro, who was hiding in the site. And it's a 4-on-3 in favor of Envy.
You still have the knives up there. It's been replenished as he kills to run it back earlier on by Food. Low HP, though, is going to be the Reyna Asuna trying to move forward. Stuck at the cabin. Now being pinged by the Owl Drone, courtesy of Crashy Sova, who's been a thorn on their side. When we talked about how good mummAy could be in the server with the operator, it's not needed when players like Crashies continue to be such a dominant factor for the success of Envy on this map. But Dicey trying to move in. We're still watching him. It's just Hiko trying to do heroic plays on his own. He gets a second one here, but the clock is still ticking on that spike. They're just looking for that econ damage, and there you go. And he's even going to possibly die to the spike too, and indeed it will. 11-5 in favor of Envy. As again, they're looking to seal this on a flawless 3-0 in the series. But to start things off, the way that they try to peek there towards that B main, you can't really discredit Steel for that one too. It was just a poor timing because you saw just the first person wasn't paranoid, but Nitro did try to throw it towards that B main where we thought everybody was still stacked up when they heard the first orb so they could try to catch at least 1 or 2 players off guard. He got one, he got the spike carrier, but as he dies from an opponent that's so close into the round, on top of that a run it back available from Food, it's just hard for you inside that site on your own after that as Nitro to try to hold it.
Getting reminders of split that early back and forth in that second half. Quick shot coming out from Envy. It was mummAy with the pickoff. Dicey wants to go through the cyber cage. There's the Hunter's Fury being popped from Hiko. He's had so much success converting on that ult throughout the series. Steel is able to pick one off as well with the Sheriff. This aggressive look is working out nicely, at least in the early round, but Envy's recovered as mummAy goes ham with the Bulldog, finding now 3 kills on the round. Damage definitely heavy currently for mummAy as the shots start coming through from Catwalk. mummAy has to be careful. There's a paranoia and a backstab shot coming in from crashies, no less. Hiko all the way over on B. The A site's been compromised. And Hiko is going to have to go big. It's a 1-on-3. He already picked off 1 with his ult to start the round. He's going to have to find 3 more to finish off the 4-cray to give 100 Thieves a must-win round.
Breaks the dart, shock darts coming and ringing just behind him. He hears the footsteps towards Hell and the generator, but now finally, maybe thinks that's still the second player though in his point of view. It's a perfect crossfire, it's a perfect bait and switch as well for Envy, and things are just going to be impossible for Hiko. That clock is running down, he misses it versus crashies, and we now have map point, series point, and tournament point for Envy.
Match point.
That's brutal. Unfortunate turn of events there. Hiko did whatever he could, but it's looking all but gone at this point as 100 Thieves now have their backs against the wall, against the ropes, as Envy continues to prove that this team is no joke. Since the addition of crashies and Food, Envy has been a serious threat And we mentioned it coming into the series. Multiple teams made note to watch out for Envy during the open and closed qualifier, and you can see why. They have worked out so well throughout the bracket play from both the open qualifier and to this point currently, as they try to cap off an impressive run that would see them take #1 seed at Riot's event. There's Caboose with the kill, and I love the dismiss past the Nano Swarm, getting past that digital molly, as Rivington calls it, steals on sight over towards the generator, and Caboose is just cutting them to pieces. It all falls down onto 2. Asuna pops his ult as well, figures, what can I do? This is a bit of an odd ult coming out from crashies, but it doesn't matter in the end. Caboose will get that 3rd and final kill. Envy goes flawless in the grand finals with a 3-0 victory over 100 Thieves.
13-2 on Bind, 13-9 on Split, and 13-5 on Ascent. A dominating series for Envy, looking so good for this team. And now the argument...